Just another beautiful day in my sunroom. So, the backpacking season is coming up, and I'm just getting everything that I normally bring with me out and ready to go. A good rule of thumb is to always bring 2 pocket knives, which this set of knives I actually also keep in my hunting bags. I always pack 2 of these headlamps as well as a battery pack to recharge them. The battery pack also has a solar panel on it. Then I have my 45 Colt, which is good out to about 75 yards. It also has a 7.5-inch barrel. I have a temporary tent that I also keep inside my backpack in case my main shelter breaks. I also have these repair patches and a sewing kit. The tent is basically just a plastic mylar tarp with a string that you stretch across 2 trees. And then the sewing kit has a lot of extra parts that I don't really use, except for the bent needle. I've already had to make a few repairs to the straps on my backpack because I was overloading my backpack, so keep in mind how much weight your backpack is rated for. These are just the stakes that come with my tent, which I don't really use my tent for backpacking. I do use it during winter camping though. These windproof matches are one of the methods I have for starting a fire. I also carry these lenses. I have this triangle for making campfire tripods, usually for hanging a pot of water or a grill above the campfire. I keep my grill inside this bag with all of the hardware to hang it from the tripod, which whenever you're rigging something up like this, you really need to make sure it's sturdy. I've already had a few incidents where the entire grill fell over because the tripod broke, which the tripod is just made from sticks that you find in the woods. I keep the grill wrapped in these plastic bags and then I put it inside the original case because the grill does get really greasy. And I keep the grill inside my backpack so I don't want any of the grease getting all over the inside of my backpack. These are resin-saturated fire starting sticks, which I always keep 2 desiccant packets in any of my fire starting bags because it helps keep the bag dry. Up next I have my tinder bag and also my bag with magnesium, which the tinder that I use is pretty much just dried, rolled up paper towels. I keep a couple of these vinyl lenses because they're really good at setting grass on fire, so if I have absolutely nothing dry, I at least have one of these lenses. They get really hot, they burn your skin instantly. This is a rain cover that came with the backpack, so if it ever rains and I need to cover up my backpack, I can just take it out of its pocket, put it over my backpack. I also bring a jet boil with me, along with 2 gas canisters, which it's rarely ever used, but if it starts raining really hard and the only thing I can cook is macaroni, then it's awesome. The jet boil is also really good for starting fires if it's been raining for a while, like a couple of weeks, and everything is saturated with moisture, and pretty much nothing will catch on fire. So are the resin-saturated fire starting sticks, but they don't burn as long or as intensely as the jet boil will. Next up we have my folding knife, spoon, and fork set, which pretty much just comes all apart like this. Next up is my water filtration system. So there's a water bottle, a tube, and then a bag, a 1-gallon bag that you hook all of this up to so that you can have the 1-gallon bag hanging from a tree, and then it drips down through the filter into the bottle. The dark green paracord is what I use to hang my hammock and the tarp above the hammock, and then the blue rope is actually what I use to hang my bear bag away from the campsite. On the right side next to the red shed is my tarp and my tent, and here's my chainsaw, which I use to break down firewood. It's a lot more convenient to carry one of these than it is to carry an axe around. and it's also a lot better at cutting down large pieces of wood. And finally, we have the bag that I actually carry all of this in, which is my backpacking bag. I have a couple of flashlights attached to the front, and there's also a few patches that I've made on the straps. And then up next we have my underquilt and then my compact backpacker's sleeping bag, which both are necessary if you're going to go backpacking up in the mountains. They're both made from feathers, so they're really warm. But this is the underquilt that hangs underneath the hammock, and then the orange bag you see in front is the sleeping bag that I use for backpacking because it's extremely compact, and it actually packs down to about the size of a 1-gallon water jug, which isn't super bad for a sleeping bag. Here's the hole where the hammock passes through whenever it's being hung underneath the hammock. And then there's also a carabiner that attaches to the main line. And here's the sleeping bag. It's rated for 50 to 32 degrees, and anything below 32 degrees will put you at risk for freezing to death at night. I'm ready to get this backpacking season started, and I'll see you guys next time.